Are you sure this is the same Justice League? Because it feels way different to me. So DC's fandom has been a massive event in of itself. However, what I would consider to be the biggest moment in DC fandom thus far is of course the official trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League that has just been released. And even though this film follows pretty much the exact same beats as the theatrical version, at least in a rough sense, it does feel like a completely different film. Because even looking at some of the scenes that were in the original theatrical cut, they do give off a very different vibe compared to the theatrical version. And what I noticed was that the colour correction is more in line to that of Man of Steel and BVS, but the colours are all the more muted compared to that of the theatrical Justice League. And speaking of tone, it does feel like the Zack Snyder cut is going to be very depressing in terms of its overall tone. However, there's also this sense of optimism going off by the trailer's theme, which once again this was what Zack Snyder was trying to do with his original vision. Now what we do know about the Snyder cut of Justice League is that we know it is going to be split into 4 parts, and that a lot of the missing pieces that were left from the theatrical version will be included back into this more complete narrative. And even going off this official trailer alone, we do see several elements that were missing from the original cut, such as some of the sequences from the nightmare scenes that would have been further explored from Batman vs Superman, in which could potentially answer a few questions that have still been left unanswered, as well as seeing a cameo appearance from Iris West, which was also originally cut from the final version, which was presumably meant to set up the Flash movie, but given its different direction now, I don't know whether this version of Iris West will appear in the new Flash film. Not to mention that we also do get another good look at Superman's black suit, as well as the iconic silver S on his chest. And looking at a few shots of Superman in this new suit, it does seem like we may or may not see the traditional Superman suit in this version of Justice League, unless they're going to save that moment for its ending. And we also have a better look at Steppenwolf's new design in his high-res glory, and not gonna lie, every time I see this version of Steppenwolf, I just think he just looks like a generic Decepticon. But then again, this version of Steppenwolf does fall more in line with how we last saw him in Batman vs Superman. And speaking of villains, we also do have this mysterious figure in the trailer, who I'm guessing might possibly be Desaad, unless it's going to be one of Darkseid's traditional goons. And speaking of Darkseid, we also have a really good glimpse at Uxas prior to his transformation. And again, it does seem like Darkseid is going to have a major role in this take of Justice League, so it does raise the question on whether we are actually going to see him as Darkseid incarnate in Justice League, or if we're only just going to be seeing Uxas. But overall, considering the fact that Zack Snyder had only done several months of editing this cut so far, it is pretty impressive on how much he has achieved. And sure, I could criticise over the wonky CG that is still present, but given the fact that this film isn't going to be released till next year, I can't really fault him too much. And make no mistake, this version of Justice League will probably demolish the theatrical version. However, it still raises the question on whether the Snyder Cut will actually be good in its own right, and whether this would actually be worth the wait after all these years. Granted, this is Zack Snyder's vision, and that this is going to be 4 hours long, but despite of my concerns aside, I am still fairly excited for the Snyder Cut. So what do you think of DC's fandom trailer for the Snyder Cut? Do you think this is going to be an exciting take on the Justice League, or do you think that this might be a little too good of a thing? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.